this is Ariashi, the Dead Queen. Today I am doing a free-to-play guide. I know there's a ton of guides, but I found a few things that I don't think any guide puts together, and some don't even say at all. So I'm just wanting to be helpful. The first thing is collect everything. This is one that you've probably heard, but fowl, ores, eggs, mushrooms, flowers, wood, anything. You want to collect it all. You may not feel like you need it at first or even for a while, but there becomes points in the game where you realize you do not have enough eventually, so it's better to just have a surplus. The second thing is you want to open every single chest you find, because you will probably not go back to that until you get the treasure compass, which won't be for a very long time. So make sure you're opening those chests. They give a lot of primo gems, especially early on when you're finding them constantly. You want to just grab every single one.
A reward on the road.
The third thing is you always want to do commissions. They give a lot of primo gems. You only have to do 4 a day, and it's well worth it.
You are more, and please know, we encourage you.
Number 4, you have to choose the characters you want to level very carefully, because if you try to level them all up, you run out of resources very quickly, and you will end up with nothing left. The fifth thing is you always want to buy swords from the blacksmith and his apprentice in Mondstadt, and then the blacksmith and Inazuma as well. For some reason, the Leeway blacksmith links with the Mondstadt blacksmith, so you don't really need to go to Leeway. This is because you can use them as level up materials for your weapons, and it is very useful for giving you a little bit more XP for fairly cheap. This resets every day. For number 6, you always want to use your resin on something. Use all of your normal resin up every single day so that your resin can recharge all the time when you're offline. Number 7 is completely optional, but it can be very helpful to know. You can avoid doing your adventure rank world level increase quests and let your XP build up so that it's easier to explore and your world doesn't get harder. And then once you finally do the quest, it'll translate all the XP you've gotten into the corresponding level. So it would be the same amount that you would have gotten anyhow. You just won't get bonus resources from bosses or the ability to level up your characters higher until you do those quests. For number 8, you want to save your fragile resin until you're at least adventure rank 45 to get more out of your resin. This is only if your world level is set to max. Number 9, you want to save crystal cores for condensed resin and only use them at level 80 or 90 artifact dungeons. This is because it takes up 40 of your resin to make one of these condensed resin, and you want to use them on something you would get the most out of. For weapon Ascension materials, it's very easy to get those anyway, but for artifacts, it's really hard to get nice artifacts, and you want to have that boost for artifacts only. and then you want to wait until you have the level 80 or 90 artifact dungeons because you get the legendary artifacts guaranteed. Tip number 10, you want to do all quests and reputation quests and bounties for primogems and the useful recipes that you get from it. For number 11, you want to build up your Serenity Pot as soon as possible because you can grow resources and get a nice coin supply going so you can get a lot of useful resources from the shop as well. For number 12, you want to partake in events as much as possible because they give a whole ton of primogems and sometimes other resources as well.
Way. Those are my favorite.
Number 13, every single BP period, you want to make it to BP level 50 because they give a whole ton of resources in BP that are very useful and you're missing out if you don't reach that. There's plenty of time to do this, so you don't have to worry too much about it. Just make sure you're looking at what you have to do to get those rewards. For number 14, you want to use your paramedic transformer weekly. You won't get this till later on, but when you do, you need to make sure you're doing it every single week. last but not least, for number 15, you eventually will get a treasure compass from your reputation rewards, and you want to use this to max out exploration and find a bunch of primo gems from all those chests that you've missed. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. I hope you found these tips useful.